Alright, another quick battle replay. This time it's Suebi versus the Seleucids, or the Seleucids, depending on which camp of pronunciation you subscribe to. The battle is Zeus of Olympia, which is quite a funky map, because the side that starts with Zeus on their side can use the temple to protect their flanks, but I usually find it better to just, and more interesting, to move up here. However, you'll see as the battle progresses, this presents another problem, because then the red line protects one flank, and for my army that's a bad thing, because I'm the army that want to be flanking here. You saw the build at the beginning. My opponent has a shitload of pikemen. He's actually got, it looks like he has 7 pikes up front, supported by thorax swords, Persian hoplites, Hellenic cataphracts and Median cavalry. He has thankfully only brought javelin men, so I'm fairly confident in the skirmishing ability of these 5 Germanic slingers. However, I'm going to have to be careful about his chariots, which are hidden at the moment, I believe. I think they're somewhere around here. So I'm just going to start harassing him here with my Germanic scout riders, do some damage to his Median cavalry and hopefully kill some of them, and they are taking damage here. I hid some guys down there, but since the battle is taking place up here, I wanted them out and able to harass the backlines of my opponent here. And so I'm forming up. I don't want to rush the engagement here, because I am up against a line of 7 pikes, and I'm not really going to be able to maneuver very well because of this, that the flank is secure here. And also, if I choose to flank this way, then I'm charging uphill, which is obviously bad. So he's chasing after me with some light cavalry. They'll die quite nicely to these javelins. And just chasing my Germanic scout riders around. I don't think they will be able to catch them. No, I have skirmishing off, so I have better control over them. So, not being afraid of his skirmishers, I decide to move up here and secure my own flank from cataphracts and other nasty things coming up. And here he presents a very juicy target with his general and his median cavalry. So I'm going to want to charge here, get some javelins in before he can support them. And the spear wall, they have the cavalry anti-cavalry tactics or something, so they don't lose too many guys on the charge, and he kind of charges into the back of his own men here, which stops some of the power of this charge. Still, this spear wall is taking some damage, but they have pretty good attack against cavalry, and my levy freemen are moving into support here. And here come the scythe chariots going this way. But I'm able to kill his median cavalry and his cataphracts, and now I'm focusing fire on his Hellenic cataphracts, because I want his general out of the game as quickly as possible. So the median cavalry is depleted and he's losing Hellenic cataphracts. He wants to draw me in here to his javelins, so I'm just going to start pulling back to not take too much damage. And also these chariots can wreak havoc here. So, but I think that I should. This is the game-defining moment right here, because I think that I will be able to form up here, since it looks like he isn't moving this way. I think I will be able to form up here, and I thought I had enough time to form a shield screen that would stop these chariots, and then give an attack order with the levies. But he's able to kind of plow through the formation quite violently, although I had the shield screen. And now you'll see the kills here. They are just amazing amount of kills. Now here he's going for my skirmishers, which is smart, because they can do a number on his pikes. And you'll see the kills are just, although I'm shooting at him, and I had attack orders on my pikes, and one chariot is stuck all the way up here. The other chariots are just managing to pull through. So here the chariots already have 400 kills. It was quite amazing that they were able to just smash through all those spears and keep going. Now they are dying, but not before inflicting some casualties on my swordmasters here. And I'm chasing after them, but since the leader of the unit is up here, they're running after him all the way up there. So now I'm able to finally bring down the chariots, but not before they get over 500 kills, I think. So good morale on those guys as well. They were downed by some javelins in the end, and this one guy is still going strong, but there he got stopped by the javelins. So already I lost a significant portion of my skirmishers. I lost a lot of swordmasters. So now I have a bit of a problem, because my opponent has 7 pikemen and a secure flank. So he can either just push me back to get in range of his javelin men here, because now my opponent really has all the advantages. He has a cavalry advantage, he has a skirmishing advantage, and he has the infantry advantage. So I'm going to have to make something happen here, which is just basically harassing and shooting with slingers. I'm just going to fast forward here, because, well, that was very choppy. Going to fast forward, now it's just harassing with these guys and shooting with my Germanic slingers, shooting at his pikes, and at some point I'm going to start shooting at his javelin men instead, since they have very little armor. But I want to inflict some casualties on his pikes as well, and when they are turning their back they'll take more casualties. And I'm changing the angle of attack soon to this pike unit here, which is so I'm kind of being able to shoot at their backs and inflict casualties faster that way. Harassing his general and other cavalry units with my scout riders. But overall it's not looking too good for me here, because he will be able to defend very easily in this position, and the only open route of attack for me is uphill. So I just want to remove all his cavalry to take away mobility, so he isn't able to take out my other skirmisher. Now this immediate cavalry, I'm able to intercept it with swordmasters and just blob up and kill them. And you can see that my opponent has no plans of pushing me back. He just wants to hold his strong position and wait for me to come to him, which is a good idea. If this happened in open terrain, it would be much easier for him it would be harder for him to defend all the angles, but since I'm so cavalry weak and infantry strong, he just basically needs to mirror my deployment of infantry. So I have quite a lot of javelins left on my guys, but the Germanic slingers are running out of ammunition. Here his light cavalry is going to catch my Germanic scouts, because I wasn't paying attention, but they will take some losses, and I'm going to be able to skirmish them with this unit. And now I'm just going to move up, retreat, and this light cavalry isn't much of a threat, but they could do some damage to my skirmishers and get some rear charges, which I don't want when I'm engaged against the pikes. So this is quite a challenge for my... Had I had all my... Were these guys able to stop the chariots, which I thought they would, then I would have 5 full slingers, and that would really really help. As you can see, the pikemen are already down to 82 men here. Just throwing some javelins at thorax swords, not a good angle, but still getting some kills. And now I'm going for his Hellenic Cataphract General, because it will really help me to have the General and the Cataphracts out of the match. And as you can see, they are dying. They're able to catch 2 of my guys here, but they are dropping to these javelins. But I'm starting to run out. Still getting some more kills on the Hellenic Cataphract, which is very valuable to me. And now I'm firing a bit on his javelins, because they can be a problem as well. So I figured I wouldn't be able to destroy his pikes enough that it would make a difference. But destroying his javelins definitely takes priority here. And now he's going to move up with his javelins, and I don't want him getting off too many shots on my swordmasters, because then they will start dropping very quickly. So I'm going to chase them back, throw some javelins at them, get some kills, and now it's just going to continue like this for a while, with kind of me using all my slings and then going back and forth with the skirmishing. I obviously don't want to engage this pike box until I have dealt with his supporting units. So the plan is to just remove all of his supporting units and then find an angle of attack, but it won't be easy. Now his javelin men are routing, the slinger fire, my swordmasters are taking some damage, and I think they will rout, possibly, or maybe they came back. Now I'm just sending these this spear wall into the pikes. Some of them die, but it was mainly to attack these javelin men, and they're wavering again, but it looks like they will come back. And I want him to fire his javelins on these depleted units, because fewer javelins will hit them. They are already very combat ineffective as it is. So it's fine, keep shooting at spear levy, they are useless in the late game. But as you can see here, I was able to push through with the spear wall here. Good melee defense probably, and the pikemen only have 34 melee attacks, so some of them are actually pushing through and surviving for a bit against these pikes frontally. So mainly just harassing and annoying at this point, trying to get at the javelins. Spear wall is managing to navigate through the pikes quite nicely, I think. And not getting kills, of course. They are severely outmatched there. Over here, something starts happening. I'm sending my guys around to force him to extend. And I see now that I could have done things very differently. I could have set fixing forces here while going around, so that he would have to box up at an earlier stage, but I was a bit wary of these javelins, because if he was able to take out my general with them, then I would be in huge trouble there, because none of the Suebi units are disciplined. So losing the general would be really bad, and this gap isn't big enough for me to get any units through, so I'm just going to have to mirror his formation. And over here I'm thinking I could probably beat these guys by sending in some berserkers and round shield swords. Let them use their javelins on my spear wall, which have decent armor, and I'm going to shoot at the thorax swords and actually get some kills on them. Here I'm sending the berserkers in. Now here my opponent probably should have met me with some pikes to destroy them, because these thorax swords do not like fighting against berserkers. As you can see, the thorax swords are getting smashed, and here he's sending some light cavalry into my spear wall, which means they are going to get routed almost instantly. And now he doesn't like what's going on here, so he's sending his general in, which is just what I wanted. He's trying to go for my berserkers, obviously, but then he changes his mind and charges into the spear wall, which was a really bad idea. I had cavalry there, so that kind of blunted his charge. And now his Hellenic cataphracts are going to drop fairly quickly to these spear wall unit. I'm setting the spear levy and guys up, and I'm putting these guys here to just basically see if he wants to spend some javelins on them. And now he is sending in his Persian hoplites and his thorax swords, but they are severely outmatched here. The thorax swords are dropping to berserkers, and my round shield swords should be able to hold for some time against his thorax swords. Let's see how they do on the charge. They are dying, but more importantly they are holding, so that I can send my spear levy around. And now you can see his general is wavering, his Persian hoplites are wavering, and his javelin men are wavering as well, and some of the javelins just routed because the general died, so that's nice. Spear levy up against Persian hoplites, and they're actually killing some of them, so although they are pretty shitty units in terms of armor, they're actually managing to kill quite a few of these Persian hoplites. So now things are starting to look a bit better. I'm able to catch these pikes. They will rout pretty quickly, but he's making... I have to push through here, but he has already put up a defensive line here, so I can't really charge straight in. So now I'm just going to remove all these supporting units and try to surround him as well as I can. Still, it will be difficult, since he had 7 pikes, and now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... he has, I believe, 5 pikes left, or something like that. But his supporting units are falling fast, and this spear wall is chipping away at these pikemen, not really doing much damage, but just holding them there to prevent them from supporting this fight here. And now I'm going to go for these javelins and this Persian hoplites to destroy them. And this was just to send in some javelins and do some damage that way, so I'm pulling out fairly quickly, but this gives him the time to create a box, which I don't have the missiles to. These are berserk, so I don't have any control over them. They are kind of attacking at an angle here and getting some kills, but this is not a good position to be in for berserkers with their low armor. And here his thorax swords are going to be routing fairly soon. And now I am in a difficult position because his box is fairly small and fairly compact. I don't have many missiles left, so that's a problem. These berserkers are still racking up a few kills, but still his guys are mainly steady because the general died. But I managed to kill off all his supporting units, and now I really can't find a good angle to attack this small box with. I wish I had some of my skirmishers left. Here he's presenting an opening, so I'm moving around to try to attack them here, sending in the round shields just to throw some javelins. And these guys, I am a bit wary because he can support his pikes here, but now it's just time to finish throwing all my javelins. Getting some kills, making these pikes waver, but the box is very compact and it will be difficult to get a good attacking angle on them because they overlap so well. At this point I'm just kind of tired of the whole game. I was a bit mad that the chariots were able to pull through so easily and to get so many of my skirmishers at the beginning. So a few berserkers left here, they got more pike kills. But at this point, I should have just ganged up on these corners here. But seeing as how I don't really care how the game goes at this point, I'm just going to surround and just charge with all my guys at once and see if I can manage to break him. Berserkers running up, and you can see they get stopped. And now I'm just going to fast forward for a bit. I don't have any missiles left, so I'm just going to group all my guys and send them in against the pikes, putting fast charge on them, and then just sending all the guys in, hoping to overwhelm the edges of the pikes here. And you can see some of the guys are coming through and starting to inflict casualties on the pikes, but it's a very dense formation, and I probably don't have enough time to really stop them or to break the box. But all I need to do is to get through one of these sides and the whole box will disintegrate. But these swordmasters are attacking uphill, so they'll be less effective, which was probably a mistake. But like I said, I was kind of tired of the game at this point and just wanted to finish it, either by being defeated or by just breaking the box by surrounding it. As you can see, the pikemen are dying. Small unit wavering here, but I don't have enough time left to capitalize on this. This pike unit here is getting hammered, so it's dropping, and my most important units are all fine, but with just a few seconds left the game ends, and this line of pikes would have broken, and I would have been able to have the game gone for longer than 20 minutes. I would have been able to break the box, I suspect, but that's how it goes. You can see the main killer here. The main killers were the pikemen and the scythed chariots, which were just doing massive damage. Still, if these skirmishers had survived, it would have been a different battle, but they didn't. And one of the challenges that Suebi faces is things like armored elephants and these scythed chariots, which can do massive damage to the troops. But I really thought this bare wall would be able to hold the chariots better than they did. So one of the first draws I've gotten, I think, and one of the first battles that have gone the distance. Wish I would have a minute or two more, then it could probably have been a win. But still a nice learning experience for what to watch out for when facing a pike heavy build with Suebi. So thanks for watching, and see you.